Hope. So hello friends, we are back on Movies Hope. So we are going to explain the movie The Shawshank Redemption 1994. The movie was got attention by 95% Google users, also having an incredible IMDb rating of 9.3, Rotten Tomatoes having 91%, Metacritic has 85%. The movie was released on 22nd September 1994. Film was directed by Frank Darabont. This was film adapted from Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. The film made a box office of nearly $7 crores. After watching the full film, I must recommend all my subscribers that one should watch this movie. This movie is worth to watch. And if anything is missed or not understand, we hope that we will see you on Movies Hope. In the beginning of the movie, we see a scene in court. A man named Andy Dufresne is suspect of killing his wife and her boyfriend. They are having fun and that night. We see defense lawyer told a judge that the bullets are matched with the bullets of Mr. Dufresne. That night, Dufresne was very angry and drunken, so he killed them both by catching them red-handed. As Andy Dufresne was drunken and don't know anything, and so judge found him guilty for the crime of killing two people. In next scene, we see a prisoner got interviewed for releasing him from the jail, but he was rejected because of his attitude. So from this, we understand how important his attitude. Then a bus enters in the jail with new prisoners, and he was one of them. And the end prisoner in the starting of the movie is shown. There are a lot of prisoners having betting on who will cry the first. They bet on different things by having currency as packets of the cigarettes. And the prisoner seen in the interview, after watching Andy bet on him that he will cry first. After that, we see a new prisoner cries, and the man who bet on him wins the bet. Due to noise, police captain hardly come and take him out from there and beat him so badly that he got injured and he was admitted to hospital. The man bet on him. After watching this, becomes very sad. The next day, we see Andy was having his breakfast, but he got a worm in it. After seeing that, an old man asks him to give that to him, and he gives him the worm. Old man feeds that worm to his bird, which was a crow. Then a man who was won the bet arrives, asks for the man who was bitten yesterday, but a man working in the hospital replies that he is no more alive. The captain had come at midnight and killed him, and we do not do anything for him. The next day, Andy goes to the prisoner who was seen in the first scene of interview. His name was Red. He asked Red for having a rock hammer. Red was the one who can do anything in jail. He was just like a shopkeeper. If we have cigarettes packets for him, and he wanted a small rock hammer. Red was having no idea about it, but he thinks and wants to escape from jail. And he makes a joke on that. Red didn't understand it, but promises him he will provide it and gives free advice to stay away from some people who was bullying. After some days, Red gets a rock hammer, and he understands that hammer can be used to escape from prison because it is so small. Then we see Andy and his friends were repairing the slab of prison, and the police captain Hadley having a rich brother dies, and that rich brother has given a big amount to Captain Hadley by law, but Hadley having no knowledge of financial laws. But Andy was working in big bank. He was knowing very good rules of the banking. He explains Hadley what to do and promises him if he give his friends 3 beers each, he will do complete Hadley's work. Then Hadley gives them beers. After that, Andy goes to ask for posters to Red. He wanted Rita Hayworth's poster, and when Andy was coming, He saw some people fighting with him and bullying him because they thought Andy is gay. Andy got seriously injured, so he was hospitalized, but the man who beat Andy was kept in a dark room. When the man was released from that dark room, Captain Hadley was waiting in his cell. He started beating him very badly as Andy helped the Captain Hadley financial amount settlement, so no one goes opposite to Andy. From that day, everyone respected Andy and having fear that Captain Hadley will kill him if he do something to Andy. Next scene, things that prisoners asked for and needed were arrived. The most important thing was poster of Rita Hayworth. After some days, the prison warden Norton arrived for survey. He went to meet Andy personally and talk with him. Norton understands that Andy is very intelligent. He gives him offer to work in library. Then Andy was promoted to work in library. The old man was already working there. That was Brooks. Andy asked him why he needed a librarian now to the old man. The old man replies that he don't know and he was working from 1905 and become librarian at 1912. Suddenly Captain Hadley comes with policeman named Dickens. Dickens was also needed some help related to financial loss. He wanted to open a children education fund account. Andy gives him the knowing laws and also Andy was knowing some laws by which he asked permission to Warden Norton. Warden Norton gave him permission to post letters to government. There was no response from the posted letters of Andy. So Andy started tax returning of all cops in the jail and Wharton too. In this way, Andy was so busy that he got Red as his helper, hence become more aware of each other. Meanwhile, the release orders of librarian old man were released. That old man was afraid to go outside. He put a knife on a man's neck. Everyone was got confused, but Red explained them about it. A letter was posted to the prison by the old man Brooks. The old man, that is Brooks, explained the things happened in his life after release from jail. He was allotted a room by the government. He was given a job in mall. He went to feed pigeons, but he afraid to live alone, so he has decided to suicide that night. After reading this, everyone was feeling sad. It was a really epic emotional scene. Even I have goosebumps too. After that, we see the government has sent $200 check to stranded friend. Also sent some old books and music player, and they played that music player to listen songs. He also plays it in front of mic so that everyone can enjoy that song. After that, we see Red was having another chance to release from prison. He was again interviewed by higher authorities. Again, Red failed in that interview. This again shows us behavior also important. Andy brought a gift for Red. Red liked to play mouth instrument, but he didn't play that instrument. He gives a return gift to Andy, a new poster of New World. After that, we see Andy had completed his promise made to himself. He built the biggest library in New England, where one can not only read the books but also listen to music too, and also education can completed by the prisoners too. He and also Warden Norton gave a speech to journalists where he was going to make inside out program for prisoners, government and the normal people. But in reality it was fake. Warden Norton was going to make a lot of money. This was given by people who were already working in that profession, so that Warden Norton should not do the job. In this way, money was earned by Warden Norton, and totally it was black money, which was converted into investment by Andy Dufresne. He was explaining this all to Red. In this way, Red was also learning and getting more and more close to Andy, and they were becoming best friends. One day again, a new prisoner arrived, and most important was Tommy Williams. Tommy was a funny man. He was married and having children, so wanted to earn money for them. When he was caught by policemen when robbing a television set, he lived in so many jails and prisons. He just insults Andy in front of all. But Andy didn't give any response to him and don't react on him. After some days, Tommy went to ask some help for education to Andy. Andy started teaching him from scratch to create interest in him. At last, he takes exam for him, but due to some nervousness, Tommy throws this paper to trash, and Andy couriers this paper to examiner. Tommy, feeling guilty and apologizes to his best friend Red, but Red tells him to don't worry about him and explains why he is here. When Red tells him about he has killed his wife and her lover, Tommy William understands. Oh, a man named El Macho has also told this story, and this all explains to both Red and Andy too. Andy went to know Warden Norton and explained that he was not guilty, but Warden don't let him because Warden want to having his black money white from Andy, so he didn't let him go. He also killed the witness Tommy William by ordering Captain Hadley. Now it was very confusing to say that Andy was guilty or not, but Andy was having nearly 20 years in prison. When Red was with him, he told him that he was a good husband, so everything actually done in his past he had made mistakes. He got 20 years prison punishment and now he want to live freely. But Andy told him that if he escaped from here, he want to go to Giatoneo, which is in Mexico, and also told him a place to go, which is Boston, and Boston a big ground having a big tree under which a black rock is there. Under the black rock he has put something for him. In this way he create a hope to run away from this prison in the mind of Red. After that, Andy go to warden office and polishes his shoes. Then Andy has a rope in his hands. We see in movie that he is going to do suicide at that night. On the next day, when there is counting of prisoners made, and he didn't come out from his cell, and we think that he has died, but Andy was not in his cell. Warden Norton and Captain Hadley also came there and see so many cars running on the roads, trying to find out Andy escaped from the prison. Andy was actually a geology lover. He found that the shell is having some crack, so he was making a hole from 20 years. After the death of Tommy, he decided to escape from the jail, and next day after he escaped from jail, next day he went to all banks where he had made accounts for black money to white money conversion, and when he came out from all banks, he has all total money of $370,000. He posted a courier in which Warden Norton all black money report was made by him. The cars which were seen at that was going to catch Warden Norton and Captain Hadley due to their crime in Shawshank. Warden Norton shoots himself and dies. After some days, again a golden opportunity came for Red to release him from the jail. This time Red gave a speech to interviewers. Then Red gets a green signal to his release order. Red got a release permission approval. He also gets a room allotted by government and a good salary job in mall. Missing his best friend Andy, so he went to the place in Boston where Andy told him to go. Last meeting, he saw that tree, and under the tree a black rock was there, as told by Andy. He saw a letter and some money in a box under that tree. In that letter, Andy explains hope is a good thing and no good things dies, which was also goosebumps creating scene. Red was nearly about to cry. He books a ticket to Mexico and meets his friend Andy. In this way, the movie ends with a very beautiful ending. We are giving the actor's name here for clear understanding. So now the explanation from our side is over.